Hello everyone and welcome back to the weekly series which I haven't made in 4 months. And that is of course 10 tips and tricks in Rainbow Six Siege to help you instantly improve. This is the 5th video in this series. If you'd like to check out the other ones, this will be part of a playlist, all of which have their unique tips, and you don't have to watch the last ones to watch this one. I'm not going to waste any of your time before we get into this video, but I do ask if you do enjoy it, drop it a like, consider commenting, and only a very small percentage of you who watch my videos are actually subscribed, so if you could do me a favor, hit that sub button, I really do appreciate it. And without further ado, let's get into this video. Right, this first tip is very simple, but I guarantee you that it's going to blow so many of your minds. Did you know that Kapkan traps make noise giving away their position? And I'm being genuinely serious here because there is so many people I know who have been playing since day one of this game and they do not know that Kapkan traps make noise. And this is the noise that they make. Now, for those of you who knew this, I know this doesn't seem like an insane tip, but I'm not lying when I say so many people never knew this. When I've told people about this before, I've gotten so many replies saying, oh, I thought that was like an air conditioner or something else in the room making that noise. And I'm not even gonna lie, I also didn't even know this for the longest time. I genuinely thought it was just something else in the room making that noise. So if you do want to step in less Kapkan traps and you are slow walking, just beware of this noise because it is going to give away their position. It is quiet enough that anything such as footsteps or gunfire is probably going to muffle it and you can't hear it. But for those players who are playing slow and safe, just keep your ears open for this sound because we all know how annoying it can be to walk into a Kapkan trap, especially if there's 2 on the door. I am really interested to see how many of you knew this, so if you didn't know this, drop a comment because I'm sure there is a lot of you out there. Now this one is a really great one for Kaze, which coincides with the new changes to barbed wire in this season. So if you're not aware, in the new season, barbed wire got a little rework, and it now does 5 HP of damage every tick. This is to incentivize the attacker to destroy the barbed wire and just to slow them down. Now, you don't take any damage when you melee the barbed wire since you're not stepping in it, and that means the attacker can clear it without taking damage. Well, if you put your barbed wire on a staircase, for example, and electrify it using an electric claw, not only will it do more damage to the attacker when they walk into it, but it will also guarantee that that attacker will take damage even when they melee it. That means if they want to then clear the barbed wire without taking any damage at all, they need to use a breaching charge or grenade. They need to waste utility on it. And just imagine you're in the dying moments of a round, an enemy is really damaged, and they come across an electrified barbed wire. They have no utility left to deal with it. They have to take at least 1 hit of damage to destroy it. Walking in it, they'll get the electricity effect and the barbed wire effect. And meleeing it, they'll get the electricity effect. This is just another way to soup up these already buffed barbed wires, and Kaze does this in a very good way. There's also the fact that Kaze can bring his own barbed wire. To many people, they probably won't switch off the nitro cell, but considering that barbed wire did get this buff and is even stronger with electricity, I might genuinely start playing barbed wire on Kaze and get rid of the nitro cell. If you really want to slow down that enemy push, bring barbed wire and an electric claw. This next one is going to be for our technically latest defender, Sentry, who is a rework of the original recruit, and this is a strategy using a nitro cell and a proximity alarm. Now you can technically do this with 2 standard operators, but you then have to coordinate with someone else and bring someone who has both a nitro and someone else who has a proxy alarm. So with you being able to do this with Sentry himself is actually pretty strong. And simply all you have to do is place a proxy alarm on an entrance. I think this works best on windows, and then pre-place a nitro cell below that window or doorway. The moment anyone enters that proxy alarm, you'll get points on your screen telling you that someone has activated it. Then all you have to do is detonate your nitro cell and you've just bagged yourself a free kill. And from the other perspective of this, you don't really have a lot of time to react. The moment that proxy alarm goes off, you pretty much die because it explodes right away if you are a good Sentry player. So I recommend bringing this lineup and giving this a try because this has worked for me so many times, and you're bound to get your enemies tilted and get a free pick on them. This next one is going to be for you Mozzie players, and this is a great tip for hiding your pests on doorways. Granted, this won't work on every doorway since it does require there to be some soft floor below it, but very simply, if you do make a hole in the floor underneath the doorway, you can hide your pest in it, and this just gives it more space to be hidden from a Twitch drone, which may be potentially trying to clear it from the other side, or someone who's just walking by and shooting it. Hiding it in the floorboards will grant the same level of capture success, so it doesn't ruin the radius or anything, but it's just going to hide it more, and you're going to get that benefit of having it in the middle of the doorway without the risk of keeping it in the middle of the doorway, because I'm sure a lot of you would rather place them on the left-hand side or the right-hand side. So if there is a little bit of soft floor below a doorway, just keep this trick in mind. It's nothing groundbreaking, but it's going to make you a better Mozzie player. Right, this next one is going to be for you castle players out there. You may have been aware that a few years ago, Ubi did update castle's deployment, allowing you to go straight into placing the castle barricade, as it will destroy the default barricade for you. If you're not aware, you used to have to tear down the old barricade yourself and then place the castle barricade. This was a great quality of life update for castle and made so much more sense. However, this led to people making a lot of mistakes when placing castle barricades on windows, because with you no longer having to destroy the window itself, a lot of the time when you place a castle barricade on a window, the glass will remain. And if you've seen the first video in this series, you may be aware that glass muffles sound. It is another layer for sound to travel through, and if glass is present on a window, you're going to struggle to hear anything happening on the other side. So my tip for this one is quite simple. If you're going to place a castle barricade on a window, just shoot a few bullets into the window first to destroy the glass, and then go on to place your barricade. This will help you so much if anyone is about to breach the barricade from the other side, or if there's a fuse getting ready to breach it, and you could even use this to get some nitro cell kills off of anyone punching it. You're just going to get so much more sound traveling through the castle barricade, allowing you just to get a greater understanding of what's happening on the other side. It only takes a few seconds to destroy the glass, and the benefit you're getting from it is very useful. Be sure to keep this one in mind. Now, when it comes to wall denial, we know the main two, Bandit and Kaze. Many people would also throw Mute into this category. However, there is a major downside to bringing Mute, and that is the fact that his jammers do not cover the top third of the wall. If there is any situation where there is a Mute jammer on the wall and you're struggling to breach it, if there is an option, go on Repel and place your thermite charge at the top. This can be easier for Ace, because if the wall is in a situation where you can't repel on it, he can still throw one at the top of it, and then you can use this opening to nade the Mute jammer, for example, or find another way to destroy it. And when it comes to thermite, it will open a majority of the breach anyway, and this just allows you to bypass Mute jammers. However, you don't even always have to go on Repel. There is a little sweet spot at the side of breaches where the Mute jammer doesn't reach, and you're actually able just to place it right above the radius of the Mute jammer and breach the wall. Now, with this trick in mind, this also works for stuff such as fuse charges. The Mute jammer is a circle radius. If not placed correctly, you can also reach the very sides of breaches. I had a situation in Consulate where there was a Mute jammered wall, but I was able just to nudge my fuse cluster charge to the very left of the breach, and this made it just outside of the Mute jammer's radius, and I was able to detonate it, clear the Mute jammer, and grab the breach from there. I'm not saying Mute is terrible at wall denial, but he's definitely the easiest for the attackers to counter. For this next one, we're going to be taking a look at Fenrir. Now, in Operation New Blood, the time of which I'm making this video, Fenrir has had some nerfs. He has lost one dread mine, one code, and as well as this, his dread mines are also no longer bulletproof in their inactive state. So this tip is for how you should be playing Fenrir with these new changes. So with your first two set of dread mines, you want to place them further away from the bomb site. Extend them a bit in places that will assist your teammate. Let's give an example on Bank. I'd place one dread mine above the dirt entrance and one above garage entrance. That is severely going to slow down the push from the attacking team, and I'm going to activate these two dread mines. We are then going to place our next two dread mines closer to site, one of them on the security door and the other one by the bottom of main stairs. And you're going to play a passive sight role with Fenrir, because you'll be assisting your teammates who are extending with these dread mines, and then once they have been destroyed and the attackers gain control of that area, you'll get those dread mines mines back with this latest update, and you can then go on to activate the 2 dread mines which are closer to site, which will then cause the attacking team to have to do that exact same process, now closer to site. And of course, the reason why I say you do have to play a bit more passive with Fenrir is because he can't reactivate them once he's dead. But playing this role of having them active further away and then reducing them closer to the bomb site as the match goes on, even if they're destroyed, will win you so many matches, and even after these changes, Fenrir is still a powerhouse. You just gotta play him a bit differently. This next one is a way to stop defenders from disabling an active diffuser as an attacker with safety. And this is with an operator which a lot of people have just seemingly dropped and forgotten, and that is Zofia. Yes, the exact same way a defender can stop a plant using the concussion, such as Ella's Gersmont mine or an Echo Yokai drone, Zofia can do the exact same thing on attack, stopping a defender from disabling an active diffuser. This can be done vertically or around corners in many different ways. Concussing these defenders knocks them off the animation and will restart their progress. If that diffuser is down and you have 2 concussions, you can just stall the timer and concussing them to the point where they don't have enough time to defuse. It is just a bit of a shame that everyone has kind of dropped Zofia in this aspect, because it's a really unique gameplay mechanic for the attackers to have, and hopefully they expand on this more with an attacker in the future who has a similar gadget. This tip when it comes to skylights and other locations where you can rappel is one of my favorite things to do now, ever since rappelling got a nice touch up last season in Operation Deadly Omen. Now this season has expanded upon this redoing of the rappelling mechanics, which has made them way more fluid. You can now pick up drones when you do it as well. You can run into rappels this season, which is a nice touch. But I think one of the best things which have came from the rappelling rework was the fact that rappelling down skylights on maps such as Villa or Emerald Plains is way more viable now, since it's more fluid and it goes faster. That my tip for you is to start using these skylights to rappel. On Villa, start getting a bit aggressive, rappel down the skylight. You can get some picks on people who are on the other side of the wall. As well as this, if you're rotating, you can also do this from below in the hallway. Not a lot of people even know this. The same when it comes to maps such as Cafe, you can actually rappel back up the skylight on the top stairs bomb site. I know this doesn't sound like a crazy tip, but going forward, I want you all to be less scared of rappelling up skylights. It's always been a bit of a no-no. When on the attacking side, it was something you'd always stay clear of. It was always an option, but with the old rappelling mechanics, it just wasn't desirable and you're a bit of a free kill. So the tip here is genuinely, don't be scared to rappel up and down skylights now. Use it to your advantage. Ubisoft did put in the effort and make rappelling much better than it used to be, and this is genuinely something you can now start doing in your matches. Just like how we had a tip for the defending recruit Sentry, here is one for the attacking recruit Striker. Now you may be aware that probably the best combination for Striker seems to be the EMP nades and the secondary hard breach charge. This makes Striker a self-sufficient hard breacher, and she can open up pretty much any wall or hatch even with electricity or mute jammers on it. But another great combination for her is actually the flash grenades and frag grenades, and this makes her perfect at clearing any half walls or deployable shield setups. Because not only can the nades be used to destroy the shield or push them out of the location, but the flashbangs can also be used to burn any projectile catchers as well, such as Jaeger or Wamai. Unless a single location has like 3 ADSs and multiple Wamai gadgets, which is possible but a lot of resources to use on a single spot, then Striker is honestly one of the best operatives to clear people out of positions, and she can be used alongside other operators such as Capitao and Grim to really apply that pressure. I feel like a lot of people are only scratching the surface with these recruits, but going forward I think they are insanely strong, and I cannot wait to see how they get played in Pro League and their overall impact in the game. And so everyone, those were 10 tips and tricks to help you instantly improve at Rainbow Six Siege. Be sure to drop a comment, let me know which one of these were your favorite, and check out my channel to see more tips and trick videos. Drop a like on this video if you did enjoy, subscribe if you're new. I shall catch you all later. I love you all. Stay safe. Peace.